Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Bazzle Spot Live. We're here again with this team with a Sceptile on it, which seems to be doing some business for us. Apologies for the wait in yesterday's episode. That did take quite a while to find a second opponent, but I did actually look in the meantime between yesterday and today, and I'm actually 68th in the world with this rating, or I was when I looked, so I guess the reason why I couldn't find too many people was just because we are slightly higher up on the ladder than I thought I was, actually. So some points on the line here, I suppose. But we'll search for battles and see how we go. I guess we'll do the rest of this week with this version of the team, and then maybe I'll change things up a bit for next week. Maybe we'll use a different team. It depends on how much time I've got. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff going on at the moment, sorting on my car stuff that was crashed into and everything. So I've got lots of stuff going on. So we'll see. But I don't know. Maybe we'll try one of the other chlorophyll users in the Sceptile slot. Something like Venusaur, but then there's double poison, or something like Executor, but then there's double psychic, and Executor isn't that fast. So I don't know, maybe we can try something else, because one of you did comment and raised both of those to me in yesterday's episode. But we've got a guy with Incineroar and Evoltol, which again is not too pleasant to go up against. We'll go with Sableye Gengar, as always. Now he's got this is another battle where he has got Psychic Terrain, so I don't necessarily need to bring my Lele, because he hasn't got a Finny or a Coco. I could bring my Sceptile to take advantage of his terrain. I think I do want the Groudon. I mean, I need the Groudon, don't have to hit the Ferrothorn. And again, do I just not go with Kyurem? I mean, maybe Kyurem just isn't the right choice for this team, because I'm not using it, am I? I mean, against teams like this, it doesn't one-shot Ferrothorn, obviously. It doesn't do anything to Incineroar either, and can just be threatened back. I mean, I wanted the Kyurem on the team because the team is kind of weak to Evoltol, but now I'm here against an Evoltol team, and I'm just not taking it, am I? So, there's something wrong there. We are going with Sceptile in our last choice for this battle as well. My capture card does seem to be a little bit temperamental as well now, so fingers crossed it actually holds out for this, which is kind of annoying because I wanted this to stay with me forever, this capture card, but I don't know, as long as it stays working, then obviously I don't have to try and replace it or anything, but that would be another massive pain that I wouldn't want to bother with. But anyway, let's think about positive things. Let's think about how wonderful our day has been. Oh dear. So, I guess I was looking back at one of my videos, yesterday's video just now, before recording this, looking at the guy with Incineroar Evoltol, thinking, if you've got an Incineroar and an Evoltol on your team, then, why would you not lead both of those against this team? It just looks so strong against this team. So, we'll see what he's going to do. I mean, I'm obviously going to Gravity here, but this is the tough thing, because Incineroar don't normally have Protect. Evoltol do normally have Protect, so it's a lot safer to just Hypnosis into the Incineroar. But the Evoltol, in worst case with the Incineroar, he is bringing my Gengar down to the Sash. That's the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario with Evoltol is his Tailwinding, which really is nasty. So we are going to go for it into the Evoltol again. One of these times, we are just going to Protect on the Hypnosis here. But that time isn't today. It's not right now, at least. So we do get the Hypnosis off, and assume a knockoff into the Gengar. How many times have we played this specific turn one? Oh, he's just gone for a U-turn. Well, okay, I'm fine with that, I think. It's probably his Kyogre coming in, though. It'd have to be the Kyogre coming in. He has to bring something in that's faster than Gengar. So it is the Kyogre. Now, what he could do is swap his Evoltol to Tapu Lele to stop my Quash. Now, I can kind of see that happening. What was his other restricted Pokemon? Oh, it's it's Yveltal. It's right in front of me. Yeah, so I can definitely see him having the Tapu Lele. Yeah, and that does make sense. So I don't want to bring Groudon in on a Water Spout. I don't think so. What do we do here? Okay, so what we do here is we just go for the Quash and Hypnosis into the Kyogre. I do expect him to switch into the Lele. If he does, I lose both my Pokemon, but Lele will be out. I will get the Unburden and will be faster and can then Grass Whistle it and start doing things with Groudon. But that doesn't actually happen. He just lets me put it to sleep. The downside with this is he can definitely wake up next turn, which is obviously a threat as well. Yveltal can wake up here too, but it doesn't. So now again I've got options. Do I stay in and try and do things with these two, or do I switch into something else? Sablei's Foul Play would be boosted by Yveltal's Dark Aura, so I am somewhat tempted to maybe protect the Gengar and just try and Foul Play into the Kyogre here. I'm well aware that I'm kind of wasting my gravity turns here though, because if I don't protect the Gengar, he could just wake up with the Kyogre and knock both these Pokemon out, and then we'd be in a pretty bad position because we wouldn't have the Unburden boost with Sceptile. So is this the Lele coming in? It is the Lele coming in. So okay, he's probably thinking to himself, should have made that play that Barry was talking about last turn, because of course my opponent can hear me right now. It does also mean that Foul Play is no longer Dark Aura boosted. Kyogre does stay asleep though, so this is now tricky because it's a 50-50 if Kyogre wakes up. He can still go for a Water Spout here, and we'll probably do same, if not more, than Origin Pulse. I think maybe Origin Pulse would be more, but at least a Water Spout, if he goes for it, is weakened. So in hindsight, I should have just done the business with Gengar, shouldn't I? Okay, so yeah, I've wasted my gravity turns, unfortunately. So I think we will just go for a Foul Play again into the Kyogre, and if the Kyogre gets its full maximum turns of sleep, then the Lele is asleep if he doesn't protect it, but if he wakes up, then he wakes up, and he actually just Scalds. So it is Scarfed, but he goes for a Scald, which does still knock out Gengar, and I guess a Moonblast is going to knock out the, or a Dazzling Gleam is going to knock out the Sableye anyway. Yeah, okay, so we're in the same situation that I kind of imagined us being in, but him locked into Scald instead of Origin Pulse. So obviously in hindsight, I should have not protected the Gengar that turn and got an extra Hex into the Kyogre. Maybe that doesn't matter too much, but he is locked into Scald. He can burn the Groudon as well. And we are down to our last two Pokemon, and this is his last turn of gravity, my last turn of gravity as well. So this is not looking winnable because the Yveltal is still asleep, but you know, when it comes back in, I'm not going to be able to hit it with Precipice Blades. I haven't got Lele or Thingy with me. So yeah, I mean, this was a tough one actually. And again, it's Yveltal. Again, it is Yveltal that gives us these issues. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe I do want a Scarf Tapu Lele again. Maybe that would make sense. And swap Kira into something else. So this is our last turn of gravity. Kyogre's asleep now. I'm just trying to get something with the Groudon here. And it's just a Dazzling Gleam again. So that's not going to do too much. Okay. So I mean, obviously we'll play this out, but I can't really see how we win here. Yeah, I mean, we need the Kyogre to stay asleep. And not scold into Groudon. And the Lele potentially just goes for a Psychic if it's not locked into anything, but it's not Scarfed, and I don't think that was Specs damage. So we'll just try and go for a Grass Whistle into the Lele. I'm thinking either Grass Whistle or Protect. I'm going to try and Grass Whistle into the Lele. And it is still, what, 55% accurate without anything, so, slightly in my favour. But we'll see. And then I need to hit the Precipice Blades again too. But we hit that Grass Whistle. Does the Kyogre stay asleep? It does. Do we hit our Precipice Blades? We do. Okay, so Incineroar comes in then and is awake. Oh, that's a Focus Sash, Lily. How wonderful. How nice. So we're not down to just 2-on-2 now then. Is that better for me or is that worse? Evoltol, I think, is on the 50-50 turn, isn't it? Like, it's got a 1 in 2 chance of waking up, I think. Groudon will be at +1 after the Intimidate, assuming he goes for the Intimidate. I'm wondering why the Tapu Lele just went for a Dazzling Gleam that other turn then, instead of like a Psychic into the Groudon. So does it really matter if we lose our special attack with Sceptile? Because we could just Leaf Storm into the Lele just to make sure it's down. Or we could try and Focus Blast and Fire Punch into the Evoltol. But either way, we need the Evoltol to stay asleep. I think if the Lele... maybe we need the Lele to stay asleep. Let's try and double into the Evoltol. So now I am banking on Sleep Turns with Lele here. And Focus Blast hitting. Which it does. So how much does a Fire Punch do? Because it is at +2. He hasn't brought his Incineroar in. And he's just gone for he's woken up, he's got the Dark Pulse into the Groudon, which is surely going to knock me out, yeah. Wow, okay, so, that looked like an unwinnable situation, and he did wake up with a Lele there too. That did look like an unwinnable situation, but I suppose because he woke up with a Lele as well, which is fair enough, then the game is obviously lost either way, but, yeah, I mean, if the Evoltol stayed asleep, and didn't target the Groudon, then I think +2 Sun boosted Fire Punch would have knocked it out from there. Life Orb boosted as well, and then we needed the Lele to stay asleep as well. I mean, the other play that I was thinking was going for a Leaf Storm into the Lele, so even if that does wake up, it doesn't knock either of my Pokemon out, and just going for a Fire Punch into the Evoltol, hoping it stays asleep because we need it to stay asleep either way. But he just woke up with both of them either way, so. Sceptile, I appreciate you hitting your moves, the Grass Whistle and the Focus Blast there, but to no avail. He didn't stay asleep long enough, so yeah, 2 more sleep rolls in my favour, and we would have won that game. So, I don't know, it's funny how games like that work out, isn't it? I mean, like, obviously, obviously Gravity is... Okay, hello, Mr. from Italy. Obviously, Gravity is kind of what this team is based around, but... there's still chances to hit moves without gravity. It's funny because I am like the ultra I must hit my moves. I must have accurate moves person. I'm uneasy using 90% accurate moves. And here I am using Focus Blast and Grass Whistle. But this guy has got a Dialga, which is interesting, and a Xerneas. So potential Trick Room options. He again has got a Lele when, so I could potentially use his own terrain if I really wanted to. But I'm a little bit worried about the Amoonguss, to be completely honest. I think I am safe just leading with Sableye Gengar. And we definitely want Groudon here, 100% for the Dialga and Incineroar. But then the last slot, this is the tricky one. It's between Sceptile and Kieran. And I'm sorry, Kieran, but I think it's going to have to be Sceptile again. I just can't see Kieran doing too much here. Like, Amoonguss is super threatened by this team. I'm worried about it, but Amoonguss is super threatened. Yeah, Fire Punch from Groudon, Taunt from Sableye. Obviously, it can go to sleep itself as well. Got my Lele to hit it, got my Kieran to hit it. So, I never really expect them to bring the Amoonguss. And he's actually just led with Incineroar and Lurantis, which is interesting. I'm curious what this Lurantis is going to do. It must have knockoff, surely. I would expect it to have knockoff. So I'm definitely going to Gravity here. And I'm going to go for a Hypnosis into the Incineroar, just because the Lurantis might be threatened by a Sludge Bomb and might Protect or might switch. He could bring Dialga in on that slot, thinking I'm going to Sludge Bomb it or something. So an Incineroar is the least likely to have Protect as well. So this is why I'm making this, my moves this way around. But I am expecting the Lurantis just to stay in and knock off into the Gengar. That is, pretty much what I'm expecting. It's just this Xerneas in the back that I'm a little bit worried about. So it is a knockoff into the Gengar. Yeah, exactly as I expected. But now I can switch in Groudon for the Sableye and put the Lurantis to sleep. Like, again, I do expect the Lurantis to Protect here, but what do I do otherwise? If a Sludge Bomb into Incineroar is inconsequential because a Press of Space will knock it out anyway. It's just safer to, cover the potential Leaf Blade or a Solar Blade. It's not got a Solar Blade, is it? It's not got a Groudon into my Groudon. So Incineroar's switching out. Is this okay? It's Amoonguss. Okay. And does the Lurantis protect? I mean, it makes sense if the Lurantis protects here. So Sludge Bomb into the Incineroar slot would have actually worked out for us. It doesn't protect the Lurantis, so unless it's a Lumberry here, I think we're okay. Because now we can... I mean, I don't think a Leaf Blade will knock out Lurantis. Will knock out Groudon anyway, so we could try and Swords Dance here. But it's interesting that, he's not brought both Dialga and Xerneas. So I wonder which one he has brought. Surely the Xerneas in the back. It surely is the Xerneas. So I am actually going to go for a Swords Dance here, and a Hypnosis into the Amoonguss. If the Lurantis wakes up, I'm pretty sure a Leaf Blade, unless he gets a critical hit, isn't going to knock out my Groudon. But yeah, okay. He protects. That's fantastic for us. So now we can put it to sleep, or even just Sludge Bomb into that slot, because a Sludge Bomb and I'm saying a Sludge Bomb and Precipice Blades will knock it out. But if it's got a 50% berry and it survives the Sludge Bomb, then it will possibly survive both attacks. So maybe I Hypnosis into the Lurantis and Fire Punch into the Amoonguss. We are at +2 now. It will one-shot it. He has just protected the Lurantis slot as well too. So I can see Lurantis switching into the Incineroar to soak up the Hypnosis and for the Intimidate on Groudon. But he doesn't. If this is a Focus Sash Amoonguss, which I have seen, and wakes up, then that could be actually very bad. But it's not. So now I feel like we're in a decent position now, because even if he has got Xerneas, we have still got, 1 or 2 turns left of Gravity. We've got Gengar that can put it to sleep, and even without Gravity, we can threaten it with a Sludge Bomb as well. And we have still got Sableye in the back too, so we can quash it and whatever if it does get the Geomancy. So how many turns of Gravity? This is the last turn of Gravity. So the Incineroar is asleep, isn't it? I'm just thinking, if I knock out the Lurantis here and the Xerneas protects, then next turn, are we threatened if the Xerneas Geomancies? I think we'll be okay, but still, you really always got to have caution when there's a Xerneas that can set up in front of you, and your only fairy resist has got 1 HP left. Again, assuming that this isn't a focus action on the Rantas, which is not. Okay, so Incineroar comes in. Groudon will be at +1 now, which is still enough to threaten plenty damages. But Gravity's gone, so if we do want to Precipice Blades, we need to hit them. Incineroar can wake up as well. I don't think it took any turns asleep, did it? I don't think it did. So this is the 1 in 3 chance of it waking up. And we don't really want to... I mean, we have got Sceptile in the back. So, I mean, if somehow the Incineroar wakes up, critical hit, Flare Blitzes into Groudon, we will lose. I'm just thinking if we want to... Like, I'm definitely Sludge Bombing into the Xerneas. But do I want to Fire Punch into the Xerneas just to remove it? Or do I want to risk the Precipice Blades? I mean, the Xerneas could wake up first turn and protect as well, and then that would be bad if the Incineroar woke up and did stuff. So I think we will risk the Precipice Blades. We can't, we can't really live life in fear, can we? So Incineroar doesn't wake up. He tried to go for a fake out there. Gengar's faster than Xerneas. This should do, I'm going to guess about 80 or so. Yeah, it's done about 75. Precipice Blades does hit both as well, so this is the game over. So no misses, thankfully. So, okay, interesting start. Like, how many times am I going to have to say, though, that, like, I'm scared of Yveltal? Like, okay, so Gravity and that first Xerneas team on week 1 is really the only teams that I've sort of messed around with in this format so far. Both of them have been weak to Yveltal, so whatever I build next maybe needs to be, like, super anti-Yveltal, just to have that. Like, Yveltal was on the Toxicroak regional winning team as well, wasn't it? So maybe there's going to be a bit more, a few more Yveltal on the ladder. Would make sense, wouldn't it? But we'll look for one more game. Let's go for this music. My Friend How. Version number 1 again, as I was mentioning in yesterday's video, when I was searching for an opponent endlessly. But yeah, this is maybe a slightly better time of day. We've had 2 opponents almost straight away, so fingers crossed we're gonna get someone. But I mean, again, yeah, I mean we've dropped down a bit from that first game, but I don't really care too much about the battle spot rating here. As long as we get decent opponents, it's gonna be worth the time, isn't it? So yeah, I mean it is slightly disappointing that Kyurem is just doing nothing at all. And I've actually hardly been taking Lily either, have I? But then again, we've not really been playing many Finnies and Cocos either. So, yeah, I don't know. There's things to consider again. Like, if I did go back to Lunala, then I would have to have something good against Kartana. Something better than Lilligant against Kartana. And something extra in the slot that was Nihilego as well, on that other version. Because, I mean, yeah, I have been thinking about Alolan Ninetales because it does have Hypnosis, it does have Blizzard, and can do lots of other things as well, like, Disable and Encore and Aurora Veil and all that nice sort of stuff. Oh no, it's starting again. Please, Battlespot. It's got lots of things going for it in Gravity, but if I did have Ninetales on this team, then I would be replacing Kyurem with it, and then I would swap the Gengar back to Lunala to keep my restricted Pokemon, and then I would be, potentially breaking my Shadow Shield with the Hail. I don't know if it would matter if they would conflict with Groudon, the weathers as well. I don't know if it would make me any better against Kyogre, maybe not, because Ninetales doesn't really do anything to Kyogre aside from get rid of the weather. Yeah, I don't know, it's a tricky one. And I especially wouldn't really want the Ninetales if I did have a chlorophyll user in that slot too, because then I really would conflict with weathers. So, hello, Japan person looking sideways with a decent rating as well, and another Dialga. So, Mr. Hard Metal TikTok Time Dragon thing is making 2 appearances. Well, actually, I say 2 appearances. We didn't actually see it all in the last battle, did we? And it makes sense why they wouldn't bring it, I suppose. But I don't know. I mean, if you're going to be threatened by Groudon, like, Groudon's a common Pokemon, so at that point, do you even use Dialga? Kind of like, you know, Giratina and stuff like that as well. Like, actually a pretty cool Pokemon, but just threatened by so many common things. You know, restricted Pokemon. I mean, it's a fairly standard-looking team, isn't it? You know, Ludicolo, Kyogre, Incineroar, again, triple Grass. I mean, one thing that I like about this format is the amount of grass Pokemon there are, because I do like grass Pokemon. He hasn't got a Lele, though, so I'm a little bit iffy now if you want Sceptile or not, because it won't be able to get the Unburden if it is a Scarfed thingy, Kyogre. So maybe this is the battle where we take Kyurem. But what for? I'm going to go with Sceptile. I mean, if he locks himself into a water move, Sceptile's still going to take it. Okay, yeah, I mean, Scarf Kyogre does look like a bit of a threat for this team as well. But I suppose it was a threat for the other team as well. So, Incineroar and Ludicolo. Yeah, I mean, you can sort of bank on them leading Incineroar, can't you? I mean, I'm kind of surprised he didn't lead with Ludicolo Kyogre, but it makes sense not leading it as well. He has got a double Fake Out, I've got a double Ghost, so I'm expecting the Incineroar to knock off into the Gengar and the Ludicolo to maybe Scald into the Gengar as well to break any sashes. So I'm definitely going to go for a Gravity, and again, I'm going to go for a Hypnosis into the Incineroar. The Ludicolo could be threatened by a poison attack and go into Dialga to take the poison attack. But as long as the Incineroar hasn't got Protect here, or a Lumberry, or a Chesto Berry, we can literally just put the Dialga to sleep next turn. So maybe he's gone more of a Trick Room mode then, because I mean, it makes sense for him to have Kyogre in the back as well, but a shiny Dialga as well. Ooh. I wonder if he's got a Roar of Time. Ooh. Which I think is the Dialga one, isn't it? Yeah, it's the Time Dragon, so it is that one. So we'll just bring in Groudon now and go for Hypnosis into the Dialga. But the worry with this is he switches the Incineroar now into Kyogre, and even when I knock Pokemon out, he will have a free switch into the Kyogre too. So I have to respect the Kyogre, like maximum respect for Kyogre here. So Dialga. I mean, both of these Pokemon are threatened. 2 ground Pokemon, ground weak Pokemon against a Groudon. Does the Incineroar wake up? Does it break the Gengar Sash? No, it doesn't. I don't think he had any other Intimidators in the back, so I can kind of see the Incineroar switching into Ludicolo. And the Dialga going down and getting a free switch into Kyogre. But as long as I've got the Sash on Gengar, I'm okay. So I'm going to Precipice Blade here and just Hex into the Dialga slot, which should knock it out. The combination of these 2 attacks. Hex does go first, base power of 130 when they're statused. So that's a decent chunk, I would say. I mean, that's not much, is it? But it's a chunk enough to put it in Precipice Blade's Rage. Yeah, so both go down. So now this is a situation where Ludicolo and Kyogre comes in. But I've still got all of my resources left. I've still got the Focus Sash on Gengar. And a couple of turns of Gravity left. So assuming it is both those 2 water Pokemon, Ludicolo and Kyogre, I mean, again, I'm assuming the Kyogre is scarfed as well. Yeah, it is the Kyogre. I think now I have to protect the Gengar and sacrifice my Sableye. Because then I can get Groudon back in. Ludicolo won't outspeed the Gengar, and I can put the Kyogre to sleep. So that's the current plan. So sorry, Sableye, you're going to go down here. We've got one more turn of gravity after this, which is hopefully all we need. But we'll see. I mean, worst case scenario, he actually goes for like a double Scald into the Gengar and doesn't knock out Sableye. Actually, that's not worst case scenario, because then we've got Quash. So he has Ice Beamed into the Gengar, and it is a Water Spout. Okay, so yeah, I guess he had to double into the Gengar either way there. But Sableye's going down. Groudon comes back in. We haven't seen any item on Ludicolo yet. We don't know if it is Life Orbed or Assault Vested. But now we can, like, we don't know the item on the Kyogre either, because Ludicolo was always going to be faster there, Scarf or not. But assuming it is a Scarf Kyogre, we can just Hypnosis into the Kyogre here. Yeah, and protect Groudon. Or does he Grass Knot into the Groudon here as well? Does he double into the Groudon, or does he double into the Gengar? I'm actually going to put Sceptile in here and use Hypnosis on Kyogre. I'm not sure if this is the wisest choice, because I think Sceptile is maybe more important than Groudon here. But Groudon doesn't really appreciate taking a Water Spout, even in the sun. So now Kyogre has got a guaranteed sleep turn next turn. It's just, what does this Ludicolo do? She's gone for an Ice Beam, probably into the Groudon, into the Gengar. Okay. And it does knock us out. But the Cursed Body means that now this Ludicolo can't really touch my Sceptile. Because assuming it's got Grass Knot and Scald as its last moves. So now Gravity's gone, but we do need to basically hit our moves now. This is still tricky. Okay, so we definitely Leaf Storm. Definitely Leaf Storm into Kyogre, because this is its guaranteed turn of sleep. It is locked into Water Spout. So if this hits, then it'll survive, but its Water Spout's will be doing nothing. Groudon here. Does it protect? Because this Ludicolo really can't touch Sceptile. I don't think this is necessary, but I am going to protect Groudon here. Just because that Cursed Body has put Sceptile into a slightly safer position. So Kyogre takes its first guaranteed turn of sleep, because it was faster than Gengar. Leaf Storm does hit, thankfully, into the Kyogre. It will survive, but Water Spouts now will be doing nothing. And it is a Grass Knot. Yeah, into the Groudon. Okay, so now Kyogre isn't a threat. It's locked into a move that's doing nothing. So now we can go for a Leaf Storm and Fire Punch into Ludicolo, because both will be faster. Leaf Storm will just do a little bit of extra chip, just to put it in Fire Punch range, if it isn't already. We did definitely see the Kyogre was scarfed, didn't we? Because it did go before the Gengar. So yeah, Ludicolo goes down. So there we go, traversing scarfed Kyogres. Whew. Sceptile is actually doing some business. And again, on the team preview, I was thinking, ooh, do I want Sceptile? Do I want Kyurem? Kyurem would have really done nothing here, wouldn't it? So there we go, Sceptile better than Kyurem in Gravity, clearly. So there you go, another episode of decent games, I guess. Decent video, wouldn't you say? Hopefully, I hope you have enjoyed it. I mean, I guess you wouldn't watch it if you didn't enjoy it, would you? So I hope you have enjoyed it. But please like and comment. I again read all the comments and appreciate your likes and everything. And I especially like it when I see you to retweet it on the Twitter thing and everything too. So please do all that and help me out. But for another day, till tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye for now. Where's my stop button? There it is.